So don't ever mistaken that you don't have some miracles, some things you ever expected that God has ever left you as an entrepreneur in the marketplace. So we have to continue from where we stopped yesterday. God's presence versus God's performance. So they are not the same thing. So today is part 2 of the class, and today is 4th of 6. This month don't work out. 4th, we don't knock 4th already. Okay, so we have to look at this as a blessing, because blessed in battles, we have to look at everything that we ever faced is actually a blessing. Blessed in battle. Okay, so we have a kind of a bracket here which says that entrepreneurs find strength in the struggle. So most of us that are doing well today is because of the entrepreneurs find strength in struggle. So why a lot of people are so strong is because of what they passed through. That's made them to be strong. So we have about 7 outlines here. Outlines. So we have to cover. The first one is the context for the concept. Okay. And the second outline here is the presence versus performance. Presence versus performance. Okay. Number 3, we have here the infant stage. Okay. Infant state. Okay, we have to do that a lot today. And from childhood to sonship. From childhood to sonship. So you don't give children responsibility. You give them instructions. You give responsibility to a son. Okay, blessed in battle. So that blessed in battles. Every battles you ever face was actually meant for your own good. And okay, so we have to see what is spiritual maturity. Okay, what is spiritual maturity? And the last one, but not the least, levels of spiritual maturity. Levels of spiritual maturity. Okay, so we started the class because the way I normally do my own teachings or talking to entrepreneurs, mentors, business with investors is that most of the time I have to find a common ground where everybody can accept. We'll find a common ground, we can take off from there. So the common ground I found here was in the book of Joshua. So I saw this case study in the book of Joshua 1. Okay, Joshua 1 to 5. So this was when God actually went to speak to him and said, Moses is gone. So my brother, stand up on your feet. I will be with you as I was with Moses. And I will make sure that nobody will stand before thee. And the miracles I will do for you is that you win every battle you're going to face. And you are going to live where you are now, and you're going to enter the promised land. So you fight, you take territories, you actually win. You're going to make progress because of your passion, because of your conquest, because of your desire, because of your ability to contribute, to add value. You become outstanding. So he started telling us that the book of Joshua is actually a transitional book between the first 5 books of the scriptures and the remaining 12 books of the promises manifesting in the life of Israel. So the other one was about the promise of God giving to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So the first 5 books. So it's a transition from the movement from Egypt to the wilderness, and now is a wilderness journey from the wilderness to the promised land. As you're going to stand up, you're going to pass River Jordan, you're going to see Jericho's. The wall of Jericho will be against you, but don't worry, that will be taken care of. You're going to meet the Hittite, the Jebusite, the site that is there, the Amalek, all of them, the tall giants. Like, of course, they sent Caleb to go and spy, and the guy came back, and a lot of them came back with bad reports. But these ones came back and said, the other ones said we are like ants. They came back and said we are not like ants. So you have to say that your confession of your mouth is very important. So he's a transitional leader leading a transitional people through a transitional time. Just like me and you are in the verge of our family, as we are going to move our family from where they are to where they ought to be. So we are all transitional leaders. So we have to transit, of course, a certain level of grace in our family to the higher level of grace. That is why we have to pick few lessons from here to see how we can add in our business, in our family, in any way we find ourselves, so that anything in our hands touch turns to gold. Anywhere we are, we shine as light. And anywhere we are, of course, things will begin to happen positively in to propagate us to fulfill the purpose of God over our life. So it's a book that actually talk about that people should stop dreaming and start doing. No, they should stop dreaming about the promised land, start being a promised land. To stop talking about walking and talking and start walking the promised land. Stop being move them from fantasy to fact, menu to meal. So it's a transitional book whereby they possess the promises of God over their life, taking over the territory. So Joshua sits between the 5 books of the Bible and the 12 documents of the possession of Israel. So Joshua represents between the promises and the possession. So God told him, as I was with Moses, I will be with thee. I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. So, Moses was actually leading an infant that cries for everything. Oh, we need food. God will send food from heaven. Manna. Oh, we need water. Water will come from rock. He was infant. Children cry. Children cry for everything. As a child, how is your life? Now, say, my life, anything I need, anything I cry. If I cry, they pamper me. If I poo now, I mess myself, I'll just cry. They'll change my diaper. So that was what happened when they left Egypt. So they were all crying in wilderness. So Moses was actually babysitter, was actually pampering these people, and a lot of miracles happened, and a lot of us still want that miracles to happen in today's world. My brother, God needed to enter Nigeria, a lot of miracles. Now we need to grow with knowledge. We need to possess all our promises of our life based on study, based on application of what we are learning, based on passion, based on thinking about contribution. Like I told you, in today's world, money will be rewarded to you because you are solving a problem. Because money is a reward for solving a problem. Money is a reward for making impact. Money is a reward for being significant. Money is a slave of value. So if you don't want to create value in this Tinubu government, you don't want to solve problem, meet up in it. You are still depending on, you want to cry for everything. I need salary increment. I don't like the way I am. And if all those things don't work again, even if they increase it, the inflation will beat it. So they say, I want to take you to a different philosophy, a different mindset of thinking pattern that will actually fulfills you as a person. Touch yourself, say, I'm a success. Touch yourself, a millionaire. So Moses experiences food from heaven, water from rocks, pillar of cloud by the day, pillar of fire by the night. And of course, their clothes grows along as they're growing, their shoe grows as they were growing, and they experience supernatural victory over their enemies. But immediately Joshua take over, all these things disappear. And the authority of Joshua has to come from territorial conquest, progress, and passion. A lot of them will be gossiping if today's world is see this man of God. God is not with him. Imagine all the fire disappear. There's no fire in this church again. We are not enjoying. See, those things are passed away. You have to forget about. We have moved. We are now in the 21st century. Everything is changing. So we started differentiating between God's presence and performance. We said that God told Joshua, there shall be no any man that will stand before thee. That was God's promise. That nobody will stand before thee all the days of their life. As I was with Moses, I will be with thee. I will not fail thee, nor forsake you. So his miracle is that no battle will he ever engage without not winning. Because most of us think that if you say, God, I need this spiritual abundance, I need breakthrough, financial breakthrough. You think that when you have financial breakthrough, that you don't have battles. My brother, each breakthrough comes with the different battles entirely. Most of us think that when I have money, my financial problem is solved. Go and ask any rich man you see. Big man, big trouble. Yes or yes? In fact, the more money you have, the more financial problems you have, the more mouth you will feed. There's a law called the Parkinson law, which said that your needs and wants to increase as your income is increasing. So the more smarter you need to be. Because at this state, that resource is never enter your hand yet. Then he said to learn the discipline, because he that is faithful in little, to him much will be given. Learn, discipline yourself, budget yourself, stick to budget, stop pleasing people, do the things that fulfill your purpose and your vision in life. And if you cannot do that now, the money comes in, my brother. What you will do is that you ask your God, you get the money and spread to everybody. And before you know, the money will develop wings and fly away. Instead of giving the money instruction, you now for assets, you now for treasury bills, you now landed property, you now for house rent, you now so you go budget money. That's me. Money must work for you. Say amen. So don't confuse God's presence with God's performance. So that's what we learned after talking about context for the concept. Don't confuse God's presence with performance. God is present with you. He's always with you. He can never leave you nor forsake you as an entrepreneur in the marketplace. Never for one day confess, say, God, why am I here? What is happening to me? God, no. God is always with you. Our only thing is that you have to say the positive things where you want to happen to yourself, because whatever you focus on expands. Yes or yes? Don't say anything negative. You don't want to be control about your life. So he said that God told him in his presence that I will be with you. And that means that the fact is that he did not say, I will do for you what I did for Moses. So he actually told him his performance is that the next generational miracles is going to be that no man shall stand before thee. You're going to succeed based on knowledge. So, knowledge. So all the miracles that happens in the wilderness, you don't need it in the promised land. All what you need now is that the miracle in the promised land is that there is no adversity that you know overcome through knowledge. There's no obstruction that will obstruct your progress. You need courage in the promised land. You need faith. You need strength, of course, to stand against everything that hinders your progress. And it only comes with knowledge. So, miracle of the new day is that there shall be no man that will stand before thee. So you are going to win all your battles, overcome them, even though you have been outnumbered. It doesn't matter because of knowledge. So looking at it, the wall of Jericho can be fortified, but it's not a problem. Your enemies can form alliance against you, but it's not going to be a problem. Like I told you, once you want to become at the top, you become the topic and the target. Once you want to be ahead of other people, become the headline. Our generation needs a new generation of miracles, not those last generation of miracles that we are looking up to. The most of us still want to be crying every time. When you go to a place of prayer and I cry, they cry. God, I'm crying. Oh, let all the miracle that is happening in Rambunken, all the miracle that used to happen. No, that time don't pass. Cry, no change anything. Complain, no change anything. No add a cubit to your status. Now you need to stand up by your legs and take the action you need in the direction you want. Because, see, I want to tell you something. He that has brain, sense is expected. Tell your neighbor, he that has brain, sense is expected. Tell your neighbor, a child that's afraid to fall will never walk. The only way you can understand this thing is to take you where we stopped yesterday, the infant state. So I started telling them about infant state. Few things happened then. I mentioned 5 things, that's where we stopped. That God fed them. Like normally feed children. When children cry, you give them food. They don't have to work for food. Children don't work for food. Yes or yes? They don't work for food, just need to cry. Anyone you want, they give you breast, you know one. They give you what they call the other one now. They will just cry. God feed them. Number one, God was feeding them. God fed them. God fed the children of Israel. So God fed them. Number two, God provide for them. God clothed them. You know, their clothes was growing as they are growing. So God actually clothed the Israelites. God clothed them. So, and God defended them. Number three, I mentioned them that God defended them. So they didn't have to fight for anything. So number four, God carried them on the eagle wings. So he never allowed anything to happen to them. There was a pillar of course, cloud by the day and the fire by night. So God actually was, sometimes they sleep here and wake up in another place. God was just with them, and because they were crying. And then God parted the Red Sea for them to pass. So God basically did everything for them at infant state. But God told Joshua, you are going to cross Jordan and enter the promised land. Now, you don't need all those miracles. That's why those miracles that they experience in wilderness never happens in the promised land. None. Instead of that, a different set of miracles happens to them. So God wants a different set of miracles to happen to you. He wants to stand on your legs and walk on you and do the things you want to do. How am I sure? Okay, the key to miracles at infant stage was the cry. Tell not cry. The key to miracles at infant stage was the children of Israel were crying. The Israel cried. That's what I can say. I can even prove it to you. Let me even prove it to you. Right? They cried. The key, write it down. The key to miracles. I'm going to tell you the key you need now, so you don't conflict the key. The key, the master key to those miracles in wilderness was Israel's cry. That's the children of Israel. They were crying. Once they cry, miracle happened. Once they sit down and cry, miracle. Am I so sure? It happened in Deuteronomy 26, 6 to 8. Deuteronomy 26, 6 to 8. I can read and give you. He said, and the Egyptian evil treated us and afflicted us and laid upon us heavy bondage. When we cried, look at what the Bible says. He said, when we cry unto the Lord, our Father, the Lord had our voice and look on us upon our affliction and labor and oppressor. So, and the Lord brought us forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand and with the stretched arms and with the great signs and wonders. So each time they want something, they cry. And if you think you want to apply it in today's world, my brother, it will not work. If you like, go and cry for federal government now, they don't send you. Let's do that. These things happen in repeated patterns. It's going to happen again. Because if you want something to happen for a son, you give him responsibility, not to cry. Children cry. They cry for everything. They cry for food, cry for attention, cry for everything. So it means that all they need to activate supernatural miracles and supernatural, all they need to activate the supernatural and the miraculous was to cry. That's what happened. At infant stage, they cried. All they ever needed to activate the supernatural miracles in their life was to cry. That's all they needed. So, if I need to write it on you, so when you go back home, you can actually see that you don't need to cry again. So most of the time, you need to apply knowledge now. Tell your neighbor, all the children of Israel, write it down your notes. All the children of Israel needed to activate supernatural miracles in their life was to cry. All the children of Israel needed to activate supernatural miracles in their life was to cry. That's what they only needed. From the time they left Egypt to Jordan, all they needed was to cry. And most of us still carry that same pattern. Every time you see the place of prayer, you are crying. Instead of praying to God, say, God, open my eyes of understanding. He that lack wisdom, let him ask, I will give it to God. Give me wisdom to succeed in the marketplace, succeed in family, succeed in marriage, any product I bring. That's the kind of prayer you pray. Not to sit and be crying. Oh, all the witches and users in my family, they are killing us. We are dying. Poverty, don't slap us. God help us. God help us. God do it. No cry again, my brother. Sit down and learn. Then I learn. That's what you cry for everything. You are still a child. You are still an infant. Infant cry. All the children of Israel needed in the wilderness to activate supernatural miracles in their life was to cry. If I let me even play a movie for you, just to think about this. Imagine that you conduct an interview with a child. I ask a child, what do you need to achieve all the miracles in your life? You say, well, life is very good. All I need is if I cry for food, they give it to me. If my diaper is so, all I need to cry, they will change my diaper. I sleep in one place, wake up in another place. Life is good. When I mess myself up, I'm sooner or later I'm clean up. Whenever I feel lonely, they comfort me. All I need to do is to cry. My life is total miracle. As a child, all everything happened to you. You don't even know say this life hard as a child. You don't even know. Anything I need, I will cry. They give it to me. And the key to my miracle life is just to cry. If I cry, they provide for me. All the miracles start and ends with cry. So that's what the child will tell you. So and the interview will end like the story of Israel in the wilderness. That God fed us, God clothed us, God comforted us, God defended us. Under Moses, the children of Israel were babies. But under Joshua, the babies, Moses was a midwife and a babysitter. That's what he was. One day he go to the mountain, come back, they don't go something, he break. Because these people, they are children. Imagine that my child breaks something right now, the one of 3 years. What will I do? Of course, I will just tell him, make medicine or two, because I'm always careful. So that's what happened. So if you still expect that in today's dispensation, that you have to cry for everything for God to do for you, cry for nothing, manna will not come from heaven again. Since you're born, you don't see manna come from heaven. Talk to me now. You don't see tables and chairs come from heaven. You don't see dollars, pounds, naira come from the sky. You don't see them before. That means the rules have changed. The only true transaction you must come to the marketplace and understand the law of exchange. So now exchange. The only way I can explain this to you is that I've left the infant stage. Let me come to where most of us are now and where we want to be. We need to move from childishness. It doesn't matter how old. I will show you something children do. Somebody can say a 40 years old child. 40 years old child, he behave like Peking. It's more thing now, he run around in Papa's house. How can a man be carrying his family problem to his papa, to go and report his wife in welfare, go and report his wife to his pastor, and say, this woman God gave me. But you're not the one that choose the woman. Now she choose you, and you choose, and which who choose you? People know who choose person. No, please help me. And you carry your wife, go report. Who be you now? Guy, you don't remove the regard I finish for man now. All your pride and ego don't work out. Say, come on, they carry you and keep and carry your wife and get. Say, tell us what happened. You open your mouth, talk. If I catch you, I mean that go back. So don't behave like a child. I will show you how they behave. So God wants to move from childhoodness to sonship. Tell us sonship. You don't give government. You don't give responsibility to a child. You give it to a son. You give a child instruction. You give a son responsibility. So let me also do something today from childhood to sonship. You want to stand up and take responsibility for your financial life, emotional life, spiritual life. The true legacy that you can create in this world is to impact others. So you must impact people from the point of strength. You must be strong to give. You must have to give. If you don't have, you cannot give. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So you are a successful person. You are a millionaire. Say, I'm a millionaire.
I'm a millionaire.
Say, no, I'm a success.
I'm a success.
So the only way I can actually explain this sonship and childhoodness is to read two scriptures for you. Because I don't have the best way I know how to teach when I come to classes like this. I need to clean this one here so that I can use this place to write. So let me just write something here. So the first one is Isaiah 9 verse 6. Isaiah 9 verse 6. And he says something very interesting. They said that for unto us a child is born, right? The child is born. I will talk about it. Child is born. And unto us a son is given. A son is given. I will talk about this. A son is given. So, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. So government is always upon the shoulder of the son, not child. And of course, his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. That means You only government cannot be in the shadow of son, not child. Children they born then, what born picking. But for that picking to take, it has to grow. So yeah, you don't give responsibility to a child, it's to a son. Government will be upon the shoulder of the son. You know, okay, let me get another one. Galatians 4, 1 to I'm not a pastor, I don't know why I'm here today. Galatians 4, Galatians 4, 1 to 2. Galatians 4, 1 to 2. It says, now I said that even the heir, as long as he's a child, differentiates nothing from the servant. That means even a child that is a heir, is the head of everything. As long as he's a child, he's not different from a servant. Though he is the Lord of all, but under tutor and governors until time appointed of the Father. That means once you are a child, even though you owns everything, like all of us owns everything that God created, you owns the work of the creation of God's hand. Because God gave us the dominion mandate to go and replenish, dominate, even though we have the capacity to actually dominate all giftings, ideas God embedded in us, but that will not come as long as you are a child, as long as you don't want to take responsibilities. So in the Hebrew, the difference between a child and a son is that his responsibility. In fact, right now, very, very important. The difference between a child and a son is responsibility. The difference between a child and a son is responsibility. The difference between a child and a son is responsibility. What differentiates children from an adult is responsibility. Responsibility is what differentiates both of them. So as far as you're not taking responsibility for your feeding, for your clothing, for your someone else, okay, you're not taking responsibility to grow someone to become wealthy. Okay, you're still a child. The difference between a child and a son is responsibility. The difference between a child and a son is responsibility. Full stop. That's right. That's number one. A child is under parental responsibility. A child is under parental responsibility. A child is under parental responsibility. Full stop. The son is a responsible adult, old enough to operate and manage his father's business. A child is under parental responsibility. A child is under parental responsibility. Full stop. The son or a son is a responsible adult. A son is a responsible adult, old enough to operate and manage his father's business. A son is a responsible adult, old enough to operate and manage his father's business. Christ says, I came to do my father's business. Now when he's there, because night coming when no man can walk. So when the day you stand up on your leg and say, I'm going to do the plan of God on earth. I'm going to fulfill my purpose. I'm going to fulfill my destiny. God, why am I here on earth? The day you answer that question and you begin to take action, that is you become a son. I said that a child is under parental responsibility. You have written that one down. Shall I? And the son is a responsible adult, old enough to operate and manage his father's business. Old enough and old enough to operate and manage his father's business. So the day I realized that I'm not saying it to myself alone, I'm saying it to individuals, I send it to a nation. That's the day my life started becoming for me. But my prayer point changed. The day my prayer point changed, the day I changed my prayer from God bless me to God makes me a blessing. My prayer point changed. From God, I want a dream to God help me fulfill my destiny. From I just want passion to God purpose. So the day your prayer point changed, to start, I normally do this, but let me just draw it again. So I have to show you what children do. And I normally draw this, I normally put here. And the day you start living yourself, and think about others, that is the day you know that you are actually a son. Self is good, though. It's called good idea. It's not good idea. Others is called God's idea. It's not God's idea. So good idea is that you actually think about your dreams. But God's idea that you begin to focus on destiny. It's not destiny. It's a good idea that you focus on your passion. But it's God's idea you focus on purpose. It's not purpose. It is a good idea you focus on career. It's not career. But God wants to focus on calling. It's not calling. It's a good idea that you begin to focus on that you want to become success. It's not success. But God wants to become significant. It's not significant. It's a good whatever you achieve, and for yourself is called achievement. It's not achievement. For others it's called fulfillment. It's not fulfillment. So the thing is that God wants you to live this side. These are for children. This is for adults. They're not adults. They begin to look at for other people, life begin to work for you. No need to begin to say, God, if you work for kids on here, you become blessed. They're not blessed. Here you become blessing. They're not blessing. Now you're a blessing. So they say, God, make me a blessing. Let me be that blessing that people are praying for. God, use me as a vessel of honor to bless other people. That nobody should get in touch with you and go back the same. Even the person comes to you with sickness, he must leave you healed. The person comes with you poor, he must leave you better than they will meet you. So of course, if you meet them, you are happy, or you meet them, you become angry. Because they are so bitterness, so anger, that everybody they see, they give. Hurt people hurt others. Blessing people give blessing. That is, good people give goodness. Kind people give kindness. Loving people give love. So you cannot give what you don't have. You cannot. So you need to be happy first. Happiness is what you give to yourself. You know something what someone give to you. So you give yourself so you can give to other people. You have to help it from the point of strength, not from the point of weakness. That's why when you invest in yourself, not for yourself alone, so you can help other people, you can strengthen and help people to become strong. Tell them I'm strong. So what happened is that number two, I said number one, you should write that the difference between a child and a son is responsibility, and a child is under parental responsibility, while the son is a responsible adult, old enough to operate and manage his father's business. The day you move from here to here, now you are a son. Tell no son. If you are still here, you are still a child. Tell no child. You are still a child. You are still washing your belly. You want bath now, you go bath only belly. No wahala, because only you yourself you think about it, right? So number two, write it down your note. A child is a legal heir. A child is a legal heir, but cannot access his inheritance until he is old enough to assume responsibility. A child is a legal heir. That is H-E-I-R. Is a legal heir. Is a legal in charge of his estate. A child is a legal heir, but cannot access his inheritance until he's old enough to assume responsibility. I was in my village last Friday. My father was just taking me around some of his newly bought landed property. He said, this one is for your younger brother. This one is for your own. My father was just in hand. And the other time too, when I was with my siblings in the village, he took us around. He was sharing his property one by one because, my father was just saying, this one is your own. He's writing his will. This one is your younger brother. Writing his purpose. My mama did the right. So even though I was the original owner of those landed property, as a child, my father did not take me around. But now I'm grown, got married, I established myself. My father is now giving me those things in charge. But when I was a boy, like me, I have two sons already. I have a daughter, right? But my son, even though he owns most of my property, I cannot give my son of 7 years, 5 years, my Mercedes Benz. But because he will die now, even though I didn't get them, but he cannot have access now because he's still a child. Yes or yes? So even though a child is a legal heir, but he cannot access his inheritance until he's old enough to assume responsibility. If I did not assume responsibility, my father will not be bold enough to carry me and be showing to be telling me, if anything happens to me, this is how to run the affairs. Imagine that. So because his man said, he said, I don't marry now 9 years, I run my affairs. I never for one day go back home and say, Daddy, look at what my wife did to me. I call her, tell my wife, say, see, your pa and your mother are alive. My pa and my mother are alive. Now they manage their excesses. Me and you, we have to create our own government. I'm the boss here. You are the VP. Yes or yes? I tell them, this whole empire, we go run them. How we go run them? They say, anywhere we will get, we go enter this room, lock this door, settle our matter. If I hurt you outside, hold them. Tell hold them. We go enter room. If you hurt me, I go hold them. This our faith, we no come for this door. Nobody will settle our matter. We go settle our matter. If I do something, carry check me, I go sit down. No go talk things out. Then not talk things out. And then everything can be talked out. Everything can be negotiated. Nobody we know they fight. We know they beat anybody. We know say we from different background, different philosophy, but we must create our own empire. He say he here. Now from there we never carry the government. If you offend me now outside, if you do it, I don't like we don't looking for eyeball. We will say, means move up. Young. All of us go, we will knock the pram. Talk this talk today. Now we will talk about. We will talk about. We will say to after we don't move, we still continue. Cannot continue. I tell them, I say the only thing where this will work, the only way, is we must find what thing we will do together. We say we must do them every day. So me, I don't like watch television. I know like, and she likes to watch them. I tell her, no worry. I go do DSTV, do Netflix, watch the moon, the what's the me, I will spend 1 hour. Tell her 1 hour. We go watch them. So we go with the source. I must bet together. Me, I must bet you. So that time we dey bet, we dey quarrel. As we dey bath, I dey bath my baby now. So we will settle and do that period. Yes or yes? Now so their face carry waka. Now so we dey run our own empire. So you go choose how you want to run your own empire. Yes or yes? Mm-hmm. Even when I come back by 10 o'clock, she go wait for me. I'll come bath my baby girl. Yes or yes? He said, make you bath me. I said, no bath me. Now only me go bath you. Is it good or very good? My brother, so they run our affair. So you go find the one who will work for you. Run them. Is it good or very good? He dragged me. My wife dragged me, go bank. He said, open family account, joint account. As I come, I no agree. 1 year pass. One made go home. From today, if you deposit money in the account, you go sign here. For me to withdraw my money, I go sign. She go sign. But for she to withdraw our money, only she go sign. My brother, Now, my brother, I tell you all I will prove myself. Since I signed that document, my brother, I never collect money one day for that account. No, only my wife, they collect all the money. Now, me, they deposit the money for them, my brother. Now, the wahala be that now. I dey think I won't go change that thing. Now, gonna give me idea. You don't mind, we're already back one chance. You don't think it's a can't do. Yeah, I'm not so good. Rock is in there. No, I'm in my brother. I'm remain straight. Don't think it's a document. Even in memory. Anyway, that's just a family problem I need to face at home. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Everybody get their own. Right number 3. I don't know what thing carry me go there. I don't know why. Right number 3. Okay. Okay, number 3, I said, God brought a child out of Egypt. Write it down. God brought a child out of Egypt. But he had to bring son into the promised land. That's all God will. God brought a child out of Egypt. But he has to bring a son into the promised land. So for you to actually possess your possession, you must leave childishness and start taking responsibility as a son. Because what God normally do is that whenever he wants to work with somebody as a child, he will not allow you to possess your possession. So God brought forth a child out of Egypt. But for the children of Israel to actually possess their promised land, they must enter there as a son. That I told Joshua, I will be with you as I was with Moses. Go and read this one very well. That's where we are taking our teaching from. So God brought a child out of Egypt. That's actually you should write. But he has to bring sons into the promised land. That's what he has to do. That's why he started talking to him in Joshua 1:1-5. He said, be strong. I will be with you as I was with Moses. You have to fight the battles. You have to face the Hittite, the Jebusite. You have to face them. So the purpose of God strengthening you is so you can fight. And all the fighting is to make you strong. Because that's what you need. So God brought a child out of Egypt. But he has to bring sons into the promise. Number 4, God will not put government on the back of babies. God will not put government on the back of babies. Only on the shoulder of sons. God will not put a government. God will not put government on the backs of baby. That's why he told us in Isaiah 9:6 that unto us a child is born and a son is given and government shall be upon his shoulder. So God never gives children government. He only put them on the shoulder of sons. So because sons take responsibility. God will never put a government on the back of babies, only on the shoulder of sons. So he wants to experience abundance, take responsibility, move from praying like babies. God bless me, bless me, bless me, bless me. So change the words of your mouth. Say, God makes me a blessing. From today, no they pray like this. Pray like this. You will see so your life go work out the way you want them to work out. Stop telling God, help me for my destiny. God, help me fulfill my destiny. Start using the word destiny. See, I told you things are created in 3 stages in life: the picture in your mind, the words of your mouth, and the actions you take. In fact, if you can change the picture of your mind and the words of your mind, the action will follow. Action just will follow, waiting you to think and waiting you to talk. Stop saying things like baby. Stop saying, God, I need career. No, start thinking about calling. Say no calling. Stop looking for jobs. Start looking for how you can build empire, how you can build businesses. Because through that your business, many generations will be fed. Through that your business, you're going to employ many people. You're going to solve Nigerian problems. You're going to help employ people from the marketplace. So if the way you talk actually going to manifest, because you are all self-fulfilling prophecy. You attract what will predominantly occupy your mind. So you want to actually experience a supernatural blessings. I say, today I start to stop to pray. Say, God, bless me to become a blessing. The way money they enter my hand, the way ideas they enter my brain, the way they do things change. Because sometimes we just realize that we just see money from my account because of one investment. What I don't do, because of one person, I have to open that business. Because I want that person to be feeding. And because of that, I'm making more money. Now I understand. When you start shifting your thoughts from yourself to think about nation, empire, have a vision for yourself, mission for yourself, core values, begin to think purposefully, your life will change. If you want your life to change, stop thinking about yourself. Start thinking about other people. That's the day you know that you are not going to be responsible for yourself. You are having the only capacity to respond for a nation. So number 4, I say that God will not put government on the back of babies, only on the shoulder of sons. If you are with me, shall I? Number 5, you must grow into your promises, because an irresponsible child cannot go into the promises. You must grow. You have to grow your thinking. You have to grow your knowledge. You have to grow your understanding. You must grow into your promises. Because an irresponsible child cannot go into the promises. You cannot. You don't give your responsibility to an irresponsible child. You have to grow into your promises, your breakthroughs, your financial breakthroughs, your health, any part of your life. You have to grow. And the only true growth process is learning. You have to grow. You must grow into your promises, because an irresponsible child cannot go into the promises. So the difference is that a child has no responsibility A son has responsibility. That's what it means. So, and you must grow into your promises because irresponsible child cannot go into their promises. Full stop. A child has responsibilities, and a child has no responsibilities, and a son has responsibility. That's the difference between them. So God takes the baby out of Egypt, but He could not bring them into the promised land because God cannot give babies leadership, government, authorities, and powers over their promised land. So you cannot put a government on the back of babies. You can't, even though they are legal heirs of the father's estate, but they have no access to operate in any official capacity as long as he's a child. As long as you are a child, you're not going to be treated different from a servant. Even though you are legally the owner of the inheritance, but you cannot have access. So many entrepreneurs cannot have access to the privileges, of course, to the promises, and also the rights and opportunities in their life because they don't want to take responsibilities. You know, I actually sit down, I tell my wife, you know, the way we're going to run this affairs is that you are the queen, and then the way you're going to run it, you're going to treat me like a king. So anything you want, you must tell me. You must come to me as a suggestion. You don't order me around. Yes, I'm your baby boy. We don't order. So you must present everything to me as a suggestion, and it's one of my move button. Just tell baby boy, I think that if you do this thing like this, you will give us better result. Even though that is what you want me to do. So because that will actually make me to be the court. I will call the finances. So they think that don't challenge my authority. Just come to me with an opinion. Then you see me do almost all your heart desire. Just consider people. I think we need to change the fridge. We need to change this one. I think we need to do. I think you need to take me out for outing. You need to buy me both string. You need to buy me G string. You need to buy me bomb shot. We have the show. You know now. Wow, my sister. One day now I carry money give my wife. Me go buy G string, buy bomb shot. Where half of the yarns they show. Have they show this one? I say if I dey waka, makes my brain up, perambulate up and down, make something, make molecules work out my brain. If she do that thing, I say they give her money. She go, we and I want to dash her money. My brother, wahala wey we dey see for this marriage. Sometimes we ask ourselves, say, who send us work? Sometimes they ask who send us work. Wait till we come find for here. Money don dey finish now. Say we no waka again. We no dey see again. Close am, close am. Wahala wey dey see for this thing. E too much. If you no dey like that, wahala. Man, I don't know wetin man do. Which kind wahala? So this people collect our money finish. Maybe if I come for house, when I see small girls for my time, you know, I don't see one way they house. I don't satisfy a beg. When I carry this one come for a man, they pass go my way. The one way they house, you don't do me enough because that one they mess my brain up. I don't want to see rapper for this house. No more rapper. As you enter room, come on rapper. When the rapper no dey my bed, wetin rapper dey do my bed? Come on rapper for this thing. Mess my brain up. Now so we go do this thing, oh. So you go do that cross, you go take them the goosey, put them stew, you go turn another soup, put another stew again, you go turn all them. To my brother, now while I wait the thing too much. Now so we run this government though. Yes or yes? Yes. Why am I there today? What you carry me go there? No, come back to teaching now. We'll continue, we'll stop. Waiting with time, so now I close this class. 9 minutes more. We'll close this class today. Yes or yes? Yes. We will no quarrel. We will no quarrel. Life will go well. I'll give you money. Yes or yes? Yes. Okay, let me show you the battle now. Let's go to the way I'm going to stop today. Blessed in the battle. All the battle where you face for this life, now blessing. Now you know one say and say now blessing. There's blessings to everything you pass through. That blessing will make you stronger because process makes you stronger. Without process, you cannot sustain outcomes and results. Without process, you will not form the discipline that will help you sustain outcome and result. Without process, you will not even know the bad people in your life. Without process, you don't know when somebody likes you and when someone doesn't like you. Don't be afraid of process. Everybody must pass through process. Now, so like life now process. See, death is not the end of life. Death is a transition to a higher life. So death is not the end of life. Death is a transition. So that is why you have to know this world now process. Then not process. And this world is a man's world. This is a man's world. Men must rule. Men must reign on this world. Yes or yes? Yes. So and when you are still acting weak, small, like you don't get strength, because you did not work on your mind. Poverty starts here, settles in the pocket. Wealth starts in the mind, settles in the pocket. So knowledge is the only asset that changes the mind, change the pocket. Tell them again, I'm strong. I'll just give 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't even know how I have all the luxury of time, but write it down. Beyond the breakthroughs are a new set of battles. Beyond the breakthroughs you want, beyond the breakthroughs are a new set of battles. beyond the breakthrough. So you're going to break through, of course, the wilderness, but you're going to enter the problem with new set of battles. So any breakthrough you want, spiritually, emotionally, financially, economically, any breakthrough you want in your life, there are new set of battles that you're going to face. So it's nothing like when I have money, I don't get problem again. When I was thinking that if I have one company, I won't have issues again, my brother. Now I don't run up to 5 companies already, and all of them make returns to me every month. I sit on top of more than 5 companies already. I'm one of the 5 bots. So I don't need to be everywhere. I just put system and structures, and money is working for me. And that's what I'm teaching you right now. So that I want you to own systems where money work for you, so you can stop working for money. I don't want to see you work for money. One of my electronic shop in Abo, they send me money every month, and I'm in New York. I've not even been there. Everything they send to me on system, tell us system. I want you to own business. I want to own poultry farm, fish farming. I want to own businesses. When I tell you we own company, we own banks, I'm serious about it. So it starts from you thinking, I need to own some. God is the legacy we leave behind. There are 2 major legacies we leave behind. In terms of property or landed property, in terms of human being. We must leave the 2 of them. Our impact must be felt. Because if your impact is not felt in this world, you're only a passing by. You're only a Jew. And that will never be your person. You are here to put your name on the feet of times. Yes or yes?
Yes.
The world must celebrate. You say, I'm a success.
I'm a success.
Tell your neighbor, I'm a millionaire.
I'm a millionaire.
Few things happen. Number 1, I say beyond the breakthrough, there are new set of battles. Full stop. Number 1, most people think of possession of promises as a goal. Most people think that the possession of promises as a goal. Most people think of possessing promises as a goal. I think that's a better English for me. Most people think that possessing promises as a goal. That means if I get a car now, that is the end of it. I get land. No, don't think as a goal. Don't think as the end of it all. Most people think of possessing promises as a goal. It's not good. It's not the end. That you just gotten a breakthrough, you just gotten a job. It's not the end. Most people think of possessing promises as a goal. That is number 1. Number 2, as a result, they think is an end of the process, pressure, and problem. That's how they think. As a result, they think is at the end of process, pressure, and problems. So you think that when you get the results, you achieve your goal. That is the end of the process, pressure, and problem. That is not the end. Joshua knew once he entered the promised land, that is not the end. You're going to fight the Hittite, the Jebusite. Most people think of possessing promises as a goal, full stop. That is number 1. Number 2, just write the way I want you to write it so you can understand my statement. Number 2, they think as a result, they think is an end of a process, pressure, and problem. Every result you get is not the end of the process, pressure, or problem. So your problem now is that you want to buy land. Okay, when you buy that land, another problem don't start. You need to build on it. You see, when you marry now, another problem don't start. You need to give birth to children. Giving birth to children is not the end, though. You need to feed the children. You need to grow the children. Now, so I be no say, when my mother gave birth to 8 children. So me too, I was thinking that, okay, me too, I'll give birth to 6. My brother, when they give me bride price, now so I change my 6 children to 5. If I pay bride price finish, you don't change to 4. Because my bride price now 5 sheets, you see them, I don't argue list. If I one day I carry Sienna for you, bought drinks in full Sienna, drove to Ibono. The Sienna broke down because of the drinks we did. We give. We finish everything. We do everything traditional way. We do cuts. Do everything finish. Take my wife to Dubai on honeymoon. Because that was the promise. Now I don't book flight ticket now to marry. The following week we left Nigeria. We spent 2 weeks in Dubai. After the 2 weeks, I reduced my children to 3. My brother. As I spent 2 weeks honeymoon, my brother, the children reduced to 3. From 6 to 3, my brother. In fact, that small even have 2 for me. When they give birth to the second one, I don't calculate. Say, oh boy, you be like, say, you go change the way economy because we want to give the children the best life can offer. Yes or yes? Yes. I want them to spend all our life living for children. We don't have life. Me, I want to be traveling. I see the own my wife one trip. I promise I will take her to Paris. I will take her to France. So I will take her there. But we will settle some few things first. I'll take her there. Because I've taken her to most of the countries, all the promises I take her to. And when I was telling her this promise, I was living in face me, I face you. Then I face me, I face you.
Face you.
So what happened is that every result you get is not the end of the process. It's not the end of pressure. It's not the end of problems. In fact, it's the beginning of a new problem. New level, new devil. Yes or yes?
Yes.
So everything you ever achieve. I was saying that when I build 1 leader, 5 leaders, 10 leaders, my life going better. Now that I know, say, my leader problem now don't come my problem. You see why I put myself? So both for family and business, all of them now see you have to be responsible. Yes or yes?
Yes.
So a result is not the end of process, pressure, or problem. Number 3, the truth is that promised land represents an opportunities in your life. Promised land represents an opportunities in your life. and it's not at the end of the process. Every opportunity comes in your life comes with a different responsibility. All the promises that God was telling us is different. Every opportunity, financial opportunity, blessing of every opportunity. So the promised land, the truth that the promised land represents an opportunities in your life and never the end of the process. Every new opportunity is the beginning of a new process. You have going to buy a car now, and every you're going to change oil for the car. Small time you go change tire. Small time you go change this one, you go change that. So every new result is the beginning of a new process. The truth that the promised land represents opportunity and is never the end of the process. Never the end. So never everything will talk. But the fact is, just know, say, you have to be responsible, not just for yourself, but for others. They know others. Number what now? Number 4, write it down. It is the beginning of a new battle. Is a beginning of a new battle. It is a beginning. It is the beginning of new battles. Every dimension in your life, beginning of the new battles. Every dimension, beginning of new battles. I say one day at the Buga, then I say when you want to give birth, I'll follow you to theater, I'll follow you to this thing, maternity ward. My brother, when I enter there, no the person tell me say, oh boy, run, come out for a year. This is not meant for you to be here. From that day, I'm humble like this. Humility, tell me humility. In fact, the 9-month process don't humble me already. They can't beat why they collect sometimes for night because sometimes we leave bed, can't sleep for ground. I have to on AC, sometimes go off the AC a few minutes. While I face my life. I tell myself a question. Daddy, I asked my daddy one day, say, why you not tell me this thing well? If I don't make me delay this thing small, Papa, this thing why they see, you not claim me. you know, I say the whole and each of the 3 of them come with different dimensions. I tell them, say, we need to do it again. I quit. I accept this one. Sometimes you go, so I run. I go sit down, ask myself, say, why men they beat woman? I know they understand. You know they pity them. Waiting they pass to know they enough. You don't know enough. One more they treat them well like babies. I beg. One a day, make a day, my day. Yes or yes? I get peace of mind. This like headache, no suppose woman no suppose join my headache again. Make a day one side, now I get peace of mind because anything that costs your peace of mind is too expensive. Tell your neighbor, anything that costs your peace of mind is too expensive. The last one before we go to that, I need to close this class here. By tomorrow, we have to do more. Right, number 3, being blessed requires new levels of spiritual maturity. Number 6, being blessed. Number 5 now. Okay, sorry, number 5. I missed number 5. Number 5 right here. There are always battles inside your blessings. There are always battles inside your blessings. That's number 5. There are always battles inside your blessings. There are always battles. Every blessing God gives to you, there are battles you need to fight. You want to buy a new car, buy a new land, marry a new wife, start new business. There are always battles inside your blessings. The day you don't enter relationship now, man, you don't start. You go buy shawarma, buy ice cream. Before you know, you go do birthday, my brother. You go buy phone. When I tell you to go buy, I mention and give you. They busy now. You know the bad attention. You think they love now from out. Woman go do and love I go chop. You go buy Indomie. You go pay transport. Indomie your man get up. You know that same thing. Go there find girl for you. Say I love you. In fact, every day na birthday. Turn up birthday. You go do birthday this one. My brother. How to get times and color. Every new blessing for your life. Now new battle you go fight. I think you never been saying anything about this. Like only better be strong. Say I'm strong. Better be strong. Better be strong. I'm telling you now. No matter let me give you number 6. I need to leave this place today. Number 6. Have you written number 5? Yes. I said there are always battles inside your blessing. Number 6 now, the last one but not the least for today. Being blessed requires new level of spiritual maturity. Only sons can go into it. Being blessed requires new level of spiritual maturity. Because only sons can go into it. Only sons can go into it. Only sons can go into it. Only sons. Only people that are ready to take responsibility can go into new blessings and sustain it. If not, you go cry. And I tell you, many men don't run, leave their wife for house, leave children. They don't run. I know they joke with you. They don't leave 2 women. They don't get the king. Leave the. Now them pack things come up for house. Waka, they find where they go fit cool their head. They never mature finish, my brother. I know of a cosmate from first day to final year. The guy returned home one day. Now so he say in mama they shout, you useless man, Stupid man, you came back home late. The man just keep quiet, move straight. See, Papa move straight inside the room, carry few suits. Carry that time they drive pan 504. The father was a commissioner during attack. The papa just go to, I know the house of a thousand. He said, walk straight to the room, carry few suits, carry briefcase, enter pan 504. From that day till we finish cleaning house in Papa for eye. Papa don't leave the woman because the headache, the pressure, the cho. You know if he handle them. He run. He run. So you know when my job finish. These people, they need to follow women argue. Why you follow women argue? You don't know so you go fail. Now failure on arrival. Tell failure on arrival. Accept defeat. And they give you professional advice. Not just accept defeat. As soon as you don't win, you don't win. Matter don't finish. You know means you don't go do your mind. You go see come on go do your mind. Nobody go slap you. Yes or yes? You got to follow woman, don't react shoulder. When no man talk pass, you don't beat them. You don't talk. Now they she are strained. They talk. Just turn deaf and dumb. Turn on deaf and dumb. Borrow sense from Buhari. Tell no Buhari. Buhari say I'm not aware. You dey cry, Buhari say you don't know. I learned that from Buhari. My wife go talk, I say, eh? He talk again, he say, eh? He say, yeah, say, I don't hear anything. He can explain that. I say, okay. I go do am. No, I don't feel my work, I don't go my way. Yes or yes? Yes. Now so my mama they talk. All of them talk, oh, I get 3 sisters, all of them they talk. I get mother-in-law. All of them are the same thing, they talk every day. Talk, my brother. You go hear me, you go say, eh? You just say, okay. You know everything. You know, sometimes you ask your pa, why sometimes men go say like this? They are thinking their future, you know. Look, I close this class today. I don't know say me what. This was not my class. I don't know where I entered it. Now Joshua, brother Job, we want to talk about today. Yes or yes? Yes. Anyway, some days are like that. We don't kill ourselves. I have to share some of this and make you know face and only you the face am. Me too the face and woto. Tell me woto. Back to back, rat. Nungene mbes mbogeni edinam. Yeah, ever working in edinam. Yes or yes? So the good news is that you are going to be strong. You're going to stand up on your feet to take the responsibility, not just to move yourself, but to move others. Not just to move your family alone, to move your community, to move everyone that God has committed in your hand. There are some people that God has assigned to you. That the only way they can be strong is that you are strong. Say, I'm strong. I'm strong. They're looking up to you. You cannot fail this generation. You cannot fail. You cannot run. No more running away. You have to sit down and face this responsibility once and for all. Yes or yes? Yeah. Because you hear that fight and run away. We'll live to fight another day. My brother, we will settle this matter once and for all. So the online community, tomorrow we'll continue. We will have 2 more outlines. I will wrap up on this and then continue on this 2. Then we can go to something different. Because that is the only way you have to see all your battles as a blessing. As an entrepreneur, you have to find strength in all your struggles. Because all of us are passing through something. I told you, either you're about to enter something, you're already inside something, and just coming out. You are just coming out of something. My brother, it's something that all of us are passing through. Yes or yes? All of us in Nigeria, we know how Nigeria be now. Nigeria, you have to find other streams of income like investment that will not stop you whatever you're doing. So that is why don't mistake that God is not with you. He's always with you. His presence is always with you. So the performance you want him to perform in your life may not happen the way you want it. Doesn't mean that he has forsaken you. No. By tomorrow, I will do justice to that. So the online community, don't get involved in a business without a mentor. Reason is because mentorship is a legal shortcut to success. He that stands on the shadow of mentors will see far. See you tomorrow. See you at the top. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Shalom. For the rest of us,